Hi everyone, you've landed on Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations. I'm Anthony, your host and your content creator, where on my channel, I blend my love of spirituality and Mother Nature into every build. And for me, everything I do create is artistic with the mindset that all my builds are intentional. So that being said, I just came off of a trip where I was in Seattle and I had a short layover, but fortunately it was a layover where I could readily access a goodie bag of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go through that today. I was really surprised. I only had 12-hour layover, which is super short, but I was able to get out and I found some amazing items that hopefully we can use in the builds going forward. Now, some of this stuff, because it does come from the extreme Northwest where it is a lot more wet than it is here in Texas, I'm probably gonna have to put this in a growth chamber to keep the humidity level higher. So it's something that it's used to. But I was really, really lucky because I had a great flight. I had amazing passengers and something quite miraculous happened on my trip. Now, those of you know, I talk about spirituality all the time on my channel. And one of the things I always say is every single trip I'm on, I either learn something or I tell someone something. I don't care how I got the trip, whether I picked it up or I was assigned the trip or I traded the trip. It happens every single time. And this one was no exception. So the first flight of the day out, I get to meet my crew and we're bonding. It's a great crew. We have a great time together. And we had what we call a jump seater, which is a flight attendant trying to get to or from home or work. And we're overcrowded, but they can sit on a flight attendant jump seat that's extra to where they can get to their destination. And I was talking in the first like maybe hour of our flight about, I just mentioned, I took a little short video of a sky pic because I do that whenever I'm up in flight. I like to show you guys what it looks like from our vantage point when we're up in the air. Some things that you just normal people don't get to see all the time. We are actually really, really privileged to see some beautiful skies while we fly. And so I did like a little 1-minute little video, and then I was talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this on my channel. And so they started asking me, okay, what is your channel? And I'm like, okay, I do aquascaping, I do tutorials, blah, 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 you know, like what we do. And I was quite shocked. The coworker that I was working with that was gonna be on the rest of my trip, she actually keeps shrimp. I know. I could not believe it. I was just so excited because I have just introduced shrimp and I was asking her about the problems that I have been having because I've had a lot of death from my shrimp. And the first thing she's talking about, well, usually it's due to the fact like we may have hard water conditions. She specifically spoke about that. And I had just ordered and used it for the first time, a GH and a KH testing kit. So my GH, which is your hardiness, was way off of the chart. And she was explaining how that's very difficult for what I've got, the neocardinia shrimp, to molt successfully, and a lot of them die in the process. And it was just like a light bulb had gone off. And so, I mean, she really, really was pointing me in the right direction of I needed to address my water hardiness because that was probably what was keeping my shrimp population, you know, in decline. And then the other person I was talking to, the other flight attendant that was the jump seater, we were talking about spirituality and how you use the hobby to overcome a multitude of issues that's going on in your life, whether it's heartache or loss or depression. And she was like, oh no, she was 1,000% on board. She goes, no, she goes, a hobby like that is wonderful because it just in it being itself is a solitary, usually event. And it's where you work through each process one at a time. And it helps you work on yourself at the same time without you knowing about it. She goes, it's like the best form of therapy. So that first flight of the day, the first flight off, oh my gosh, they were talking my element. I've said many times that this hobby, which I call a lifestyle hobby, is all about providing therapy to us. Your home is your sanctuary. And when you come home to your sanctuary, it's like you can have instant therapy just by watching your tanks or watching your terrariums. So that was an immediate hook for me for the 3-day trip. So it was just really, really amazing. So I wanted to share that comment with you. And a shout out to Carolyn, because she was my flight attendant that worked with me that gave me the update on the hardiness level. And I just ordered a, I forgot what it's called. It's the thing you get where you pull the stuff out of your water. Anyway, I got it on Amazon. I'll be showing it on a future video. I forgot what it's called right now, though. But it's where it filters your water out. And it can pull out all contaminants. Now, what you want to be careful on, though, you don't want to use it solely for that purpose as far as pulling out all the contaminants, because your tank does need some of it in there for the health of everything that's in there. So we're going to be going a little bit more in depth next. I'm doing a lot more research on it right now, but that's going to be one of our next series coming up with, is how the tanks evolve once I get whatever it is that I bought that I can't remember the name of right now on camera. And I'm not going to do a reshoot, because that's just the way we roll here. You see the good and the bad. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to unpack what we found in Seattle. And I was quite excited, because when I looked at where we were staying in Seattle, we were right across the street from the airport. It's a 5-minute walk to the hotel. So we walked it, and there was a reservoir lake behind the hotel. And I thought, reservoir lake, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly where I'll be able to find maybe some water plants or something like that. But you couldn't get to it. It was all blocked off. So all I had was the available ground space that was around me, the sidewalks and stuff like that. So we're going to unpack all this so you can see what it's like when I go on a layover and I bring my little Ziploc bags, and then how we're going to prep it to make sure no critters arrived with it that we don't want in our growth chambers. And we're going to use the hydrogen peroxide to water treatment to soak everything in it. So what I'm going to do is, I think I have 8 bags. And out of those 8 bags, I want to make sure they all stay separate to begin with. And then we're going to put them each in a little bath of the hydrogen peroxide water solution. I'm probably going to let it soak for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to get it out. And then we're going to put it in a chamber to where what I can't use right away, which I don't have a terrarium right now. I do have some driftwood that I have, but I don't remember getting any of the moss off of wood. Some of it came off of rocks. And so I do have some of my open terrariums to where we might be able to place it right on top of the gravel to see if it will grow on that gravel. That's one thing I'm going to do. And I'll just have to make sure that I spray this pretty consistently so that it does grow and it does kind of adapt. I will say, and I'm looking to them, you guys can't see them, but I'm looking at them. My open containers, which are these vintage punch bowls that I've been getting when I go thrifting. And when I say I go thrifting, I don't generally pay more than $6 or $7 for a vessel, whatever it is. I'm super cheap. And because on this channel, it's all about saving money. So I get these gorgeous crystal vessels and I try to turn them into open concept terrariums. So I've got, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 right now that are growing. I have a couple that are in the transition of the lid half on, a quarter off, to where it's letting air in and out, because a lot of the moss that I get here in Texas can't grow in 100% humidity. It's just too wet for it. So it needs a balance. Now, the one thing that's been my inspiration has been the Desert Oasis terrarium that's in my firebox. Now, all the plants that are in there are terrarium plants, meaning they all need the humidity, they all like their misting, they're all growing very well in there without any of that. I open that firebox up just twice a month, at the 1st and around the 15th, and I water them sparingly because there is no drainage in there, so I don't want the water to build up. So, again, I'm looking over there at them. They're all doing really, really well, to the point where I've had to cut a couple of them back already. So that's my inspiration, that I'm thinking a lot of the terrarium plants can grow really well. Now, the flip side of that, you guys know, I'm going to look over here. Now you can see me looking over there. I'm looking over at my tanks. I'm looking over at the Trinity series, the ones that have plants growing in all of them. The one plant that's not growing is a Rex begonia. It has not made that transition. It never got one root that came out as a water root. And a matter of fact, now all the leaves are dying. So I'm guessing that one is not going to make the transition. And another one that doesn't look like it's going to make the transition is my prayer plant. Its leaves are just dying off, and it's not getting any roots whatsoever. But the rattlesnake plant, water roots. The spotted Hoya, water roots. Of course, the pothos, massive water roots. It's gorgeous. And the baby monstera, of course, water root. And it's just now starting to get its water root. One other thing I do want to talk about the Trinity series, now that I'm looking at it, is the mystery snails. I don't know if they eat stem plants, but my stem plants are all gone. They're missing. I have one mystery snail in there, a female. I mean, I've been keeping her in there separate because as soon as I got the mystery snails, the male mated with her. And so I wanted to see her birth come out in one tank by itself. But almost all my stem plants are gone now. And I don't know if they eat them or not, but my stem plants are gone. And so now I can see why some people do not like do not like snails, because if this happens, it's wiping out all of my planted plants. Now, it's not bothering the ones that are on the hardscape, like the Boos or Anubias that are on the hardscape itself. But the ones that are planted in, they're all disappearing. And when I say disappearing, I mean there's maybe a few leaves will float, but then there's nothing else left. So I know they go over the entire plant. I've seen them. They crawl over the whole thing, and that's when leaves fall off. But I don't see any more of the stem plants. I had an entire back row in Trinity of the turtle tank. I can only see like 4 of them right now. All the ones on one whole side are gone. And the Valsneria that I had planted is almost completely gone. So I don't know if any of you guys have had that problem before. I haven't researched mystery snails and do they eat your potted, your planted plants. But let me know in the comments if you have mystery snails and if you've had anything planted or stem plants that the plants go missing, because I think they might be eating it. I've got 2 mystery snails. One's in Garden of Eden, which had Valsneria in it, which now the Valsneria is almost gone, and turtle. And they each have a mystery snail in them. And my Valsneria out of both of those tanks is almost gone. And Valsneria is a very thin, fragile looking plant that would be easy to consume. So that's one side effect that I did not expect. So that's just one thing I want you guys to comment on, if you can, please. If you're having the same issue, or you've noticed that if you noticed it, or you've seen that happen before with somebody else's tank, please let me know in the comments. And while we're speaking on it, if you're new here, I welcome your comments. I love your comments. Your comments are amazing. I am blessed by the community we have founded here on the channel. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. I'm so excited about that, and I'm so proud of my subscribers. So right now we are hovering just under 250, and the next series that we're having coming up is going to be the Rainbow series, which the setting is right here. I'm still waiting on PetSmart to put up that 20% extra off coupon so I can get the tanks for this, because we're on that budget. And we really want to make these come out on top with having, spectacular planted aquarium tanks at the lowest budget possible. So on these, I'm setting a massive cap, $100, and that's it. And the shrimp are going to be most of that, because, the shrimp are at least going to cost us, around $30 to $40 per color, because we're going with color on this series behind me. So that being said, stay tuned. Let me get you set up to where I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to spread out all the goodies. I'm going to unpack them for you so you can see exactly how I pack it and how I bring stuff back. And then we'll set the bath up at the same time so you can see how I prep it. So hang on a hot second while I get ready. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. Okay, so I'm looking at my Amazon cart. It is called a reverse osmosis water filter system. Thank goodness. I wonder I didn't remember all that. Okay, here we have it. Baggie number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. We will be needing hydrogen peroxide. And a mixing bottle. And let's get nice oh, wrong one. One without holes, preferably. Okay. Those off to the side. Get something to drink. Okay, now make sure you guys have the best view. I literally tried. Okay, I know this one came off of a tree, so I'm going to keep that one separate. Okay, this one was on the ground. There's one in here specifically. Okay, this one was on the ground, and I kept a lot of its dirt with it. That was on the ground. There's one that had little flowers. Maybe in this one. Yes. Okay. Now, those of you in Seattle may be able to tell me. Can you see that? Guys see that? Like little purple flowers. Okay, so this was growing in the grass, and there's moss growing inside it with it. So this, for sure, is not really a moss, because this was growing with grass. So that's something that people are mowing over. This... Oh, I did collect 2 samples that were under trees. I know it's not that one. It could be one of these. Not sure you can really tell. All right. So I'm going to get my hydrogen peroxide ready. Now, when I say a 1-to-4 ratio, I mean 1 part, which is any container you have. My part is going to be, I'm going to use 5 ounces of hydrogen peroxide, and then I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, which brings me up to 25 ounces of water. And this is supposed to kill off any like bugs or anything like that, especially if you're doing the terrarium side, where you want to make sure you don't get any like eggs or anything in with your plants. It's going to infect the rest of your plant population. Or gnats. Gnats is what you're really trying to get rid of. There is a way to use this bath to water your, to water your terrarium plants with, that keeps, that kills the eggs of gnats that are in the soil. But the downside is that you've got to have really well draining soil in your tubs where you keep your terrarium plants growing, and a lot of people are in very humid conditions, and that's just not, an option. Hey, there's one. I don't have to make a mess this time. I use this same solution on the driftwood that we foraged a week or so ago. And I just put all the ingredients in my sink, and then I let the wood soak for at least 30 minutes on each side. I think just one more will be enough. And this should not hurt your plants at all. I haven't Even in moss, I haven't had anything die because I use this. Okay, there is a rule of thought that some people say to go ahead and you rinse your plants first, and then you angle a little bit better there. You rinse them first under tap water, and then you put them in this. That way, if you want to get out anything that maybe is floating in there. I don't know if I want to go to that much trouble. Let me see. Just in case they're messy, put some gloves on. I'm going to start with this one that I just absolutely fell in love with. Oh, and before I do that, yes, you recognize this, right? This is Amazon packing material that I just flatten out. It's great for putting down, and then that way whatever lands, you can just roll it right up. Awesome. Okay, so much better. Okay, you see that? Look at this great. Okay, this was growing in the shade, right on top of the soil. So I'm loving it. Loving, loving, loving it. Just gonna stick that in there. You may see it bubble up. That's normal. It's supposed to. We're going to kind of unroll it. And try and keep all of the moss. Now there's a couple of pieces of other kinds of moss that are in here that just fell in amongst it. Now, I've got all the green stuff in there. Oh, it's so easy to see with this because the dirt is straight up black. And the moss mixture is vibrant green. All right, so now I'm gonna set my timer for 25 minutes. And while I've got you guys on pause, I'm gonna set up a little growth chamber for these guys. So hang on a second. Okay, when I'm talking about setting up a growth chamber, I'm just gonna take one of my tubs that I have on hand. And I saw this on another video where all they did was empty some clay pebbles in the base, and then they were just like sprayed. So I'm gonna try that. Because normally I would put sand in here. Or if not sand, like a mixture I would use in my terrariums. But they didn't do that, and theirs looked healthy. So all I'm going to do, we'll see if this works, is just put down a thin layer, and then we'll spray it. And I'm going to use some of my aquarium water to spray it with. Okay. So all I've done is just put some water from one of my growth aquariums just down in the bottom. And this guy is just, you see how it's bubbling? And that is normal. That's what it's supposed to be doing. And give you a better shot. So now we'll just let the timer run out and I'll check back with you in a minute. Okay, now I remember why you rinse it before. Because you can tell with this, I'm not going to be able to use this hydrogen peroxide for anything else because it's got that water, it's too dirty. So I've got another bowl set up right here that has a clean version of it. And I'm going to take my next one, which, let's choose one that's a little drier. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to have the sprayer on. And we're going to rinse it first. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, cool. I'm glad this is this one. Okay. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, this was growing on rocks. Legit. The brown side was on the rock, or whichever side's the brown side. And it was like springing up like a mushroom on top of the rock. So we're going to rinse this off. So there was no dirt. Yeah, look at that. Nothing came. That's clear. It's a clear liquid. Oh yeah, very little, maybe some spores is coming off of it. A little drifty stuff, but not much. This is really super like a sponge. You know what? Maybe I could do this. Put them in their own little bowls. Okay, that's different. It was on a rock as well. Okay, these both come from a rock. I'll show you this other one. All right. I'm just going to let these soak. This is bubbling up something. Yes, right in the middle. Whatever. Ew. Whatever that is. Ew. Something. Okay. You guys stay. All right. Here's the other one. This also was on a rock. Oh yeah, it's got bubbles coming up. Oh, it was an isopod. Let's see. We'll see if it comes back. I hope it's not drowned because I can put it in something and let it grow. Okay, I'll keep a watch on it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep draining this so it comes clean. Isopods do drown easily, so he could have drowned. I wonder if this might be better. There we go. What's great about this is I'm able to pick out any debris. I can rinse off the back. So this looks like it has some type of, maybe just dirt under it. Not much though, very little. And when I got this, I was thinking I have several open air terrariums that could benefit from this type of moss growing on top of it. All right, you go there. Colors are amazing. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. There you go. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, here's a perfect example of one intact. This is what they look like. There's like little buttons. So this definitely could be like a rhizome where it doesn't grow in soil, but just attaches itself. Okay. All right. Empty these out. Go ahead. Now you notice I'm just going to layer it on there. And that way when I pick it out, here's another one. See that? See how they grow? That's pretty cool. Okay. There's two of them. A little isopod is not moving. All right, I got those two that are working. I don't have, well, I can use one of these. And set up a third. Now you can see how you go through this fast. All right, who else? Oh, this is the one that was the grass. This is going to be a hard one. It's all compacted. Oh, here's another one. It's just like what we just got out. Okay. So see, the same type. Fluffy mush. There's dirt. Actually, I'm going to put this dirt in the bin anyway. Ooh, there's a big old isopod. You are not going to die. Thank you very much. I have a place to put you. You can never have enough isopods in your terrariums. Okay, so let's make sure nobody else is coming out. Oh, there's another one. You too. Oh, good, we'll have two. Maybe one's a male and one's a female. Should I have put out the Welcome to Texas flag for our new little isopod family? All right. Okay, you guys can all go in there. Let's make sure there's nothing in here. And notice this beautiful light color. I mean, it's just incredible. Oh, and a third. Yay. A smaller one. We have a trio. Anybody else? Oh. About the one we were watching. No, no, nothing. Oh, must have drowned. I hate that. What is this? Oh my gosh. Two more. But one looks like it's dead. Oops. Or, I don't know. It looks dead. Not moving. Well, that's four. Now I can see what they look like. They're a lot easier to see. Nothing. Nothing. Rock. Okay. And here's one. Oh, yes. Are you alive? Oh, no. Like that other one. Dead. We'll watch it. It's right there. No. It's motionless. Some of this is orange. Okay. We're getting isopods. That's a bonus. Okay, there is a lot of bark in this one. A snail made its way in. Oh, you hear that? That's me dripping water on the floor. Like a snail slug, like a real snail. Not a snail with a shell. Like a slug. All right. Oh, I don't know. It is. Okay, just put it in water. Let's see if it does any. Okay, I hope you can see this. Well, it's not going to like being in the hydrogen peroxide bath. That's for darn sure. But what the heck? Can I see it? Some of this water out. What the heck? What is that? Okay, we don't have that in Texas. I don't know what that is. I'll watch it though. We'll see what happens. Okay, so our timer is about to go off. Oh, here's some. We don't want to lose that. Okay, I'm just picking up anything green that dropped because I don't want to lose anything. There's a bunch of little green. No sense throwing it out. Ooh, isopod. Yay! Where'd you go? I thought I had you. Hey, there's an isopod down here somewhere. Here you are. Okay, cool. That's 5. That is amazing. Okay, all the little debris-ish looking stuff. Take it like this. Sprinkle it on top. Okay. No, our other isopods are definitely dead. Any of the wood pieces? Okay. Now we're going to rinse. Just restart it. We'll rinse these pieces out, put them in the growth chamber, and continue on. This one is unfortunately just so muddy. I don't know if I want to use it for another one. Because we did start with the dirtiest piece. That's trash. I do like how this particular one I'm dealing with right now is really hanging on to its soil and its wood. So it tells me this was probably planted where there was, I believe, yeah, there must have been mulch down. Its roots are pretty short. You guys want to take a look. See here? Its roots are not that long. They're pretty short. This one you can see has other plants, like right there, see where my thumb is? There's another plant growing right there. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of things right here. I'm seeing something that looks a little more spiky and then a flat leaf. So that's interesting. We'll have to watch that. Those of you, if you happen to be watching that you're in the Seattle area and you know what this is called, please let us know. Put it in the comment so we'll know what we have. Now here, there's two kinds in this one. So this is a different one from that, but it was growing together. Okay, I think what I can do with this little set is just let this one go in. And I put them all just together. Just want to make sure that we'll get some good growth out of them. I really hope the clay pellets works since I've seen it. Whoops. Because you know, I have stopped growing my own moss because I usually just go out and collect what I need. But because we can't get this in Texas, this is a great opportunity for us to be able to maybe grow something that we wouldn't normally have. Okay, yeah, look at that. That is too much mess to be dealing with. Too much mess. So guess what? All right, so first we need to clean out my strainer. So those of you who are setting up your hobby, oh my gosh, your best friend will be a strainer like this. Because if you're like me and you're in a tight little spot, your kitchen is your workstation. I mean, yeah, look at all that stuff that goes down my drain. Now, if I was lucky enough to have a studio that had like an outside drain, I would totally use it and have this going into a flower bed. It's like draining right into a flower bed. That would be the best. But I'm in a little development here, a little condo development. And so we have to make do. But whenever I do my water changes, I do take the water outside, and I have got the tiniest little flower bed outside that I use. And so it gets all of my runoff stuff. All right, we have used one entire bottle of the hydrogen peroxide. Okay, let's decide. Here's an interesting one. Here's a look. Oh, that's beautiful green color. There's not much dirt on the back of it, again. Oh, guess what? I didn't rinse it. Oh well, all right. Dive right in. This time I am checking for little critters. A bunch of a little flowering plant in here with it that I think I'm just mauling to pieces. It's like that. So guess what? It's going to skip that part. It's going to go straight into the dirt area because I don't want to ruin it. I'm afraid I'll kill it. And there's enough of it in here that I really want that to grow. I think that's the reason why I picked it. Okay. Now this one is ready. Oh my gosh. Yes, you guys got me sick on my last trip. Passengers that continue to fly when they're sick and they get us sick. Oh, it's annoying. Okay. All right. These were so fragile. Here we go. This is what we're looking for right here. Get the whole thing out. Yes. And then we'll just drain it all. Now this I might try to use because we know this was growing on rock. The cool thing about that is you can see when the water runs clear. All right. Let's have that separate. Thank you. Go in there. Okay, you're done. You are ready to play with. Guys, if I could turn the camera and you could see how many of my baby blue velvets are actually swimming back and forth. It is amazing. They are such a blessing. I'm so glad they're in there. Okay. Ooh, we have some major roots in this. My goodness. Well, it's like it's in three big clumps. Oh, there's a lot of... Okay, it looks like the other moss we have. This was from a different spot because it's in three sections that it looks like I just pulled straight up. Yeah, like weeds were growing in it. I think I remember where this came from. It came from the edge where it was on the edge of a reservoir, on the other side of the edge of, does that make sense? On the other side of the edge of a reservoir where you could not get through it. And the edge meaning that this is where anything that might have been landscaped had stopped being landscaped and it was growing kind of wildish. So this was growing in complete shade. Yeah, there's nothing moving around. Complete shade. There was a massive canopy of trees. And tree-like needles. And just like weeds. Because it looks like I'm just pulling out a bunch of dead weed or grass, maybe. Yeah, what it looks like. And trash. Yeah, because it was nothing. This was off the path. So it's great when you do it like this. You can see exactly when your water runs clear. It's easy to tell what you can pull out that's not part of your plant. And again, I'm trying to put that in one central mega patch, so when we pull it out, it'll all just come out. Go in there. Some of this looks like that, but this is fluffier than this, if that makes sense. Okay. Here's a piece that came out with bark on it. It's growing on it. Okay, well, we'll leave it in there. Except for that. Oh, it came off. All right, never mind. A lot of dirt with it. So we're going to put it straight into the bath. Oh yeah, there's a big old patch of grass. Need to get that out. This was growing in a little bit of sunlight. So it wasn't complete shade. And I think I remember getting this because it had a couple of other plants in it that are probably weeds, but I always like to get weeds because every place's weeds is somebody else's place for something exotic. So here is our first tub. And look, there's how much water is in there. So it's not doused in it, but it's moist on top as well. So this means I need one more tub. Handy dandy tub. More pebbles. Let me grab some water. I think that'll be enough. Okay, this one's ready. Okay, so now all this little dirt that I didn't use, guess what? You got it. It's gonna go right on the bottom. Just gonna sprinkle it. Anything that needs a little soil will have a little soil in there. Pull out the sticks. All right, let's do the one that has all the grass in it. So this is the first one I saw, and I am probably not, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get these plants out of it. I mean, they are like, oh, maybe Not so hard after all. Okay, here's the plant. Here's the dirt it was growing in with moss. Is that not the strangest thing? So yeah, I can detangle the plants totally and put them in my muddy mixture. Okay. Cool thing is we can get the grass out of it. I thought the flower was really cool, and I thought that could be, since it's growing in Seattle, maybe it could be a terrarium plant. And Lord knows I got enough of it. Okay, that's grass. Okay, but look at this. This is grass with the moss with a plant. Interesting. You know what? We'll put that moss down first. I mean, we'll try to get the grass out of it, but we'll put the moss down first in this tub. And the ones where I can't really separate out all the grass, that's grass. Grass. Yeah. Here's a plant. Grass. Yeah. Because the soil was so compacted, I wasn't able to dig it out as much as just get a clump. And I don't want to throw out the moss that was growing. It was growing under the grass, so I don't see how it was getting any sunlight, but somehow it was growing. So I knew I had a bunch of that in here. All right, so that is enough of the plant. All right. There's moss. Moss. All right, so I'm getting my piles together here. Moss. Now, this plant, I don't have to soak that long. There's no roots on it. I'm just trying to kill whatever is on it. It only takes a few seconds to do that. And then I'm going to cut the tops of the plant off so that we can get new growth and we can see our new growth. So I'm not going to try and make these plants grow everything they've got growing on them already. I'm just going to cut them down so the plant doesn't have to extend so much energy. Now, the only baggie left is the one that came off of the tree. So this is definitely something that grows on just bark. And it's gonna get really nasty muddy. Ick, ick, ick. But it came just off of a limb. All right, so that's our last one. Let me get my scissors. Let's begin the dissection. All right, so here's what I do. See how the plants have this nice, healthy root? I'm just going to cut them all off so it doesn't have to grow the whole thing. I'm going to do it like this. Sit in there until I'm done. If I don't have enough healthy roots, then I'll know, okay, don't do it. So the poor plant doesn't have to... Ooh, here's a really big one. It doesn't have to try and grow that whole thing out continuously. See, even this little root has moss growing in it. Now, then another thing we can do is cut the roots off a little bit. That always encourages the plant to grow. So we're helping it to preserve its energy and then grow new roots.